with an app presentation sample here, showing you tic-tac-toe. This is what it looks like in simulator. We start off with a blank grid, just like your standard tic-tac-toe game. As I click, I can mark different characters. I've chosen these as emojis rather than using X's and O's. And if I do get a winner, you'll notice it pops open an alert view. The alert view also has an action attached to it that will reset the game. So when I hit that button, the grid clears and I can mark new things again. So let's show you it in action and show you how all of it works. On my storyboard, I just have one view controller, and this view controller contains another view, which is that white grid. Gives the illusion of a grid, but really it's just a big white square, and these labels are sitting on top of them. So I've got 9 labels for each of the spots on the grid, and that's what creates that grid illusion in storyboard. So we'll go now to my view controller file. You'll see I have 2 files. I'll talk about the grid label file in just a minute here, but the only connections I've made in my view controller class are these grid labels. So those are the 9 labels for all the spaces on the tic-tac-toe grid. They're of my custom class, and I also made a connection to the grid view to check and see if I'm tapping inside of that. You'll see I created an object of my custom class called grid label, so I can use properties for my custom class, which I'll show you in just a second, and then finally an array that will hold all of these labels. If I go to my custom class, you'll see I did create a custom class because I knew there'd be some properties that I wanted to kind of customize for a tic-tac-toe game. So these are my 3 properties that I made in my grid label class. Xturn, to check to see whose turn it is. It's a bool. A can tap, which is also a bool to figure out if you can tap on a label or not, and then finally a count to track the number of turns that have happened within the game to see if there's a cat's game. So I'll go back to view controller. There's my array. In view did load, I add all of my labels to the array. So now I can iterate through this array when I'm checking to see winners, checking to see if it can tap and all that good stuff. The next thing that we come across here is my action. Within my action, which is called grid tapped, I'm iterating through my array. So this is a fast way for me to check all of those labels within the array. The next check is an if statement to see if I am tapping on a label. If I am tapping on a label, is it true? Is can tap property true? If so, that means there's nothing there. Then I'm checking to see whose turn it is. If it's X turns, we'll mark the monkey emoji. If it's Y's turn, we'll mark the frog emoji. It then turns it to false of can tap, so you can no longer tap on it, and increases the count. That happens every time, and it's every time it runs through this tap, it checks for a winner too, so we'll talk about that function next. Check winner function looks at all of the different combinations of tic-tac-toe winners. So I'm looking at the text and checking to see what the text is. If they are all the same and they're not blank, then I know I have a winner, and I can call the winner function, which is the last thing you'll see. So all these if statements are all really the same thing, just the different combinations of winning tic-tac-toe. The final one is just a cat's game count, so it's looking to see if it's at 9. If it is, I know it's cat's game. Finally, you'll see your alert view. This is what pops up if there is a winner, and on the alert view you'll notice that it's popping up whoever the winner is. There is a button that was created called play again, and this button, or what they call as an alert action, goes through and resets all of the labels to blank, changes all the can tap to true, and resets my count and X turn. So that's what resets the game. I've added it here, and this is the bit that presents it when you actually do have a winner. So this winner function is called in every single combination of winners in my check winner. And that is tic-tac-toe in less than 5 minutes. Good luck creating your screencast. Hopefully it will be similar to this one as far as explanation and demonstration goes. Good luck.